Hello and welcome back to Technical Tales Galactic Science. The basic mob farm is up and running and working, and everything is wonderful. Not wonderful, but everything is working, at least. Let me show you. So, allowing space underneath the force field did allow the items to pass through. So what I've done is I dug the floor down a bit. Down there. Can't go in much further because basically I've got this glass. I've put like a glass floor everywhere. That was because a lot of the experience orbs and items were just sort of falling down and acting weird. They were like orbiting and stuff. So what I've done is I put like a layer of glass everywhere except where there's holes for these things. And as you can see, some of the experience orbs still fall through to the bottom. There doesn't seem to be any way to fully stop that happening, but I'm catching most of the experience orbs. So I've gotten rid of the vacuum chests, and I'm using 5 vacuum hoppers. And they're all wired in, so basically they all output to a chest, and then the chest gets extracted via these pipes to the barrels at the side. And then I have Ender IO fluid conduits extracting the experience, which is in the form of a liquid. And that's to this thing. This thing's almost full. Can I void experience? I might have to start voiding experience, like once it gets to the top. What I can do is you can get these trash cans, and there's a fluid version of the trash can, which is just a trash can with a bucket. So I figure if I attach one of these to the very top tank and extract, because the way these tanks work is the ones at the top are actually currently empty. So I think if I suck out the top, I'll leave all this experience here. But that way excess experience will get voided, so I won't get orbs just sort of clogging up the system. What I've got here is an XP drain with a tank underneath that pumps into that tank. So if I want, I can drain experience points from myself and put it into storage. Or I have an XP shower if I want XP. So experience points for things that need experience points are not going to be an issue. This is working well, except you can see this is full. I need to deal with some of this stuff. So I've made myself a trash can. Where do I want to put the trash can? Okay, so the filters for relocator pipes aren't specific enough. I don't trust them. I want to be able to just sort of put specific items, and I don't want to have to be typing a massive list. Because most of this I probably want to keep. I think it's just for now the bows I want to get rid of. So, where to put this trash can? I can't put it next to that pipe because I don't want it to connect. So I'm going to filter it using item conduits. I just need to see, will the item conduit connect to that system? I don't think it will. Okay, it does, but I should be able to disable that connection. Oh dear. Had that stuff started flowing, if I right-hand click there. Right, had that stuff just started flowing. Okay, what's going to happen to this stuff? Anything else going to head that way? Because there's a little nub here still, which has me worried. I could quickly make a block module. Okay, just to be certain, there's a one-way module pointing that way. something else goes and gets stuck. What's going on here? Okay, it's too much trouble than it's worth. I don't want that there. This doesn't seem to be very happy. Okay, I'm going to have to do this differently. So I'll put the trash can there. And I'll put the item conduit there. And I should filter what goes... Rather than filtering what comes out the chest, I should filter what goes into the trash can. Because you never know, I might want to use this later to run some other stuff. So we're going to insert with a basic item filter. We're going to say bows. And we're going to ignore the metadata. So that should be all bows, no matter what their durability state, and no matter whether they're enchanted or not. So extract, always active. Okay, it's not taking the enchanted bows. That's interesting. What if I give it an example of an enchanted bow in here? Okay, enchanted bows are more awkward. I will have to think about that. For now, though, I've made some room in this chest, which was the important thing. Right, so I've got the heads I need. There's a skeleton head, there's a zombie head, there's a creeper head, and I think that's all I needed. So let me have a look at this book, because it's been a while. Okay, quests with unclaimed rewards. Oh, yes, I just made item conduits. So it's giving me some Ender energy conduits. And I get an item conduit speed upgrade, basic item filter, advanced item filter. Maybe the advanced item filter will do what I need. Let us have a look. If I remove the item filter from there, it's going to start trashing everything. So let's deactivate that. Let's go into here, clear that, pull that out, and put this one in. NBT data, that might be what that might be the enchantment stuff. So let me grab a bow. And we're going to say we're not ignore metadata, ignore NBT data. Activate. There we go. That's all the bows gone. I'll leave the rest for now. Yoink. Grab the oxygen pipe. Oxygen connect. Gear. Gear I can leave. Oxygen concentrators are useful. They get used in oxygen collectors, oxygen compressors, stuff like that. And I think this is because I made a nether star. Get a reward bag and broken spawners. I've got plenty of broken spawners now, but that's okay. Let's take a look at this reward bag. It's a basic, it'll just be something rubbish. 10 cans of food. So, Methuselah reminded me that what I was doing was power, and I wanted the trans-dimensional transceivers. This is what I was working towards. And I think it was the Ender Resonator which was causing me trouble, because I needed an Enderman head in a slice and splice, which I do have one Enderman head. So I need to make a slice and splice. Which only requires a single head. Why did I think I needed one of each? Ah. I need an ender crystal. Okay, so I need a soul vial with an enderman in. That's actually relatively doable because I can summon an enderman using a creepy doll. And creepy dolls are made with netherwort ink sacs, lapis, and redstone. I need a precious doll, which is just porcelain, clay, and a diamond. So I can get myself a soul vial easy enough, but I'm going to need a soul binder. And I think it was the soul binder. There we go. This also requires an Enderman head. Okay. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to make the soul binder so I can make the... make the soul binder so I can make soul vials, because then I can make a powered Enderman spawner, because I'm pretty certain I need a soul vial in order to turn a powered spawner into specifically an Enderman spawner. See, the recipes on these two are the same. I think you probably use it in a soul binder again. If I go uses... Nope. Uses for this. Doesn't have any. Yeah, here it is. Broken spawner types can be changed by combining it with a soul vial of the desired type in a soul binder. Yeah, so that's why I need a soul binder. To recap, just so I can keep it straight in my head. I'm going to need a slice and splice anyway, with an Enderman head in order to make this Enderman resonator. But in order to get the Ender crystal, I need a soul binder, which is going to use, I think, my one and only Enderman head. Where did you come from? Ah! I do not know where he came from. I must have a dark spot somewhere. So, I will get together the materials I need for a soul binder, and I think I'll get myself a cup of tea, because I'm a little tired, and my voice is a little raspy this morning. Not happy tea yet, because I'm waiting for it to cool down. However, I do have the stuff I need for the soul binder, with my one and only Enderman head. But this is the thing, is using the soul binder I can make an Enderman spawner, which will let me get more Enderman heads, and I need an Enderman head anyway for the thing that's in the quest book. I just dropped everything on the floor. I need an Enderman head for this anyway, in the slice and splice. So I have to start with the soul binder. One soul binder. Okay, this requires power. So I will set it up in here, I think, with the other crafting materials. So, do I have a sealable aluminium wire? Yes, I do. Boop. And boop. Powering up. Okay. So, I need to make myself... Okay, that's actually already a... Ah, interesting. The broken spawner it gave me is already an Enderman spawner. So I didn't need the soul binder. Because I think if I make that into a powered spawner, it will already be a powered spawner for Enderman. Okay, powered spawner. So I'm going to need more Enderman heads anyway. It's best to get, you know, the unlimited supply of Enderman heads. Powered spawner, empty, powered spawner, Enderman. So even though I'm making an Enderman spawner, I can put any head in. So I just need another machine chassis. I need a Z-Logic controller. Oh. Which needs the slice and splice. Hang on. I think I can make a slice and splice easily enough. Yes, because that just requires one of any head. Right, so let me make two machine chassis, because both this and the powered spawner is going to need a machine chassis. And I'm going to need a lot more of this solarium, which is soul sand and gold. I turned off the sifting of the soul sand, so I could start collecting soul sand. I don't need that much. I don't need anywhere near that much. I need 5 to start. Okay, that will start cooking. I'll make the machine chassis and I'll see you in a moment. I cannot say the word chassis today. That took such a short amount of time that I've still not had my tea. This is how dedicated I am. Right, so we can make ourselves the slice and splice. What was the description on that? Hold shift. Slices heads and splices in all sorts of useful things. So essentially this is like Frankenstein science. So we'll put that there. Again, it powers up. Do I need to give it another axe and shears? Looks like I do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These probably get consumed as well, i.e. their durability goes down. Right, so what was I trying to make? Powered spawner, powered Enderman spawner, which requires any form of head, but I need a Z-Logic controller, which requires a zombie head, 2 more Solarium, some silicon and redstone. Just looking at the recipes. So, zombie electrode. Ugh. So there's not much you can make in a slice and splice. There's only like 4 things. A tormented Enderman head. Oh, because of the water. Oh my god, this thing puts water inside an Enderman's head. That's evil. Evil. Right. More Solarium. Do I have much gold? Not much. Don't want to cook up too much of this stuff. Okay, so I'm just cooking up some of the stuff I need, and I notice this thing is completely full, which means I'm kind of afraid that XP orbs are just going to sort of hang around once these pipes fill up. So let's work on this voiding plan, if I can ever get up there. So I've got a fluid trash can that I will place there. I've got a fluid conduit that I will place there. This side wants to insert. This side wants to extract without redstone, and I'm hoping it will just be the top. Is this working? I will leave it to see, because it's possible that there was so much spare fluid in the system that it's going to take a while to actually drain those upper 2 tanks, which is what I think will drain. Vibrant alloy. So I needed a Z-Logic controller, 2 Solarium zombie head, redstone, silicon. Ah, tea. My first sip of tea. Okay, so yes, it does use up the durability on those, but not much. So there's my Z-Logic controller. So now if I make some vibrant crystals. Okay, I've got some vibrant alloy, so I just need an emerald. Luckily I have plenty. Was it just the one I needed? I needed 2. Forgot to make the electrical steel. Silicon, coal powder, and iron. Don't actually have a sag mill over there. I'll steal this one. Powered Enderman spawner. Fingers crossed. That now shows as empty, because I need to combine it with the broken Enderman spawner. In an anvil, it said. Do I still have an anvil? No, I think I used them all to make those compressors. See, this is where you need the levels. Costs 30 levels to make a powered Enderman spawner. Supply with power to activate. Upgrade with capacitors to increase speed and energy storage. Okay, so I think we're going to want capacitors on this thing straight away. So, We need two double layer capacitors, so that's 4 basic capacitors. So, I've got myself my powered spawner and a capacitor, which, according to this wiki, means it should be able to spawn 22 a minute. Okay. Let me just refresh my oxygen. So, where is this going to go? This is when I have a trouble with Endermen teleporting. So I need to stop them from teleporting. The problem is this thing is now a lot bigger than it used to be. I can still put a curtain of water around the bottom. If I made it only too tall in there, they wouldn't be able to teleport. Actually, I don't care if they teleport into there. What I need to do is stop them teleporting onto the roof. So I'm going to have to cover the roof of this with water as well. Which means... which means if I ever want to turn this off, which I think I'm going to want to do, because I'm going to have to break into here and do some building. So I think I need to make a spawning platform here, tall enough for Endermen. It's probably going to be about the same size as this thing. And then the Enderman will spawn on it and get blown in. Or I could just have it in the ceiling in the center here, so they spawn and just drop straight onto that killing floor. That would probably be easier. The difficulty I'm having is trying to work out how I can run power to this thing and have it covered in water so the Endermen don't just escape. Water washes away levers, I think. Okay, doing a quick Google search on Endermen and stuff. It seems to indicate that they won't teleport unless they're exposed to liquids, sunlight, fire, or projectiles. So it's possible that they won't teleport out of there anyway. Because even though they're taking damage, they won't see a need to. So I think I'm just going to put the spawner near the ceiling of this place. I can run power to it up the sides and down through the top. And I'll make sure that any sunlight is blocked. Right, so I've run the power cable up and over the top. And I'm using sealable blocks to make sure that there's no light getting in. And I'm now just going to pillar up there. Right, so that's the ceiling. I want to put the spawner, I think, at least 4 down, because Endermen are 3 tall. Spawner platforms will usually spawn up to 1 block above where they are. So I want to allow enough headroom for an Enderman to stand. Okay, so I'm suddenly thinking that I should disconnect the wire on that just for the moment. There we go. That's how I'm going to turn it on and off as well. So, powered spawner with an octagic thing. Spawn. Oh, okay, you can use it to capture straight into a soul vial. Configure I/O. Not sure why it needs that. Right, let's seal this back up and put this wire back in, and hopefully we will get Endermen spawning and dying and not teleporting away. And they've teleported away. Turn it off, turn it off. this surface must trigger their teleportation. So I do need to cover this thing in water. Okay, so I'm going to run the power further out, so there can be a curtain of water coming down here. I don't think there needs to be water underneath, but there needs to be water on top and there. So let me set that up and we will try this again. Don't suppose we got the Enderman head already, did we? No, none of them died. Phew, that took a while. I was having a lot of trouble with this row here. I think because there's water on top of those blocks there and it sort of changed the dynamics. I essentially ended up having to leave a row of glass at the top there to help control it and build an entire solid cobble wall in order to sort of wrestle it into the right places. But I think we now have water. We don't have water underneath. I'm hoping that isn't needed. But we've got water all the way around the sides of that. Let's have a quick look. We have water all over the roof. And all over the edges of this platform here. So I'm going to turn the fans on again. Because there's a lot of mobs in there, I think, just standing around having a good time. You can just make them out. Yep, so that's blowing them off the edge again. Fans working. I think the fans are working. You can't see a thing. So let's try and spawn some more Endermen. Incidentally, I drowned. Yeah, drowned. Can you believe it? I'm wearing an oxygen mask, oxygen gear, and oxygen tanks that let me go into places with no atmosphere in space. And yet, I can drown. Galactic Craft, you've got to fix that. So, let's put this wire in. Watch for Enderman spawning. Okay, there's Endermen in there. So they're teleporting. Are they just They're just teleporting away. They are just teleporting away. This water does nothing. I'm stumped. I can't find any way short of covering everything within 32 blocks of here with water, which I'm not going to do. I cannot find any way of stopping them from teleporting out. A tier 3 shield projector would do 4 times the amount of damage, but it requires dimensional shards, which you can't craft. Presumably you can find dimensional shards on one of the other planets, but it doesn't help me right now. So I'm going to end the episode here, and I'm wondering, does anyone have any advice as to how... I mean, I suppose I could set up another room with diamond spikes, because apparently the diamond spikes won't make them go away. I mean, I could change this to damage as done by generic. That might stop them teleporting away. Let me try that. And if that will get me the heads... Yeah, okay. They're not teleporting away now. This only just occurred to me. But will it get me heads? That is the question. Will it get me anything? Will it get me ender pearls? Okay, the number just went up, so drops are appearing. But I don't know if it will get me... See, heads often count as like rare drops and stuff, and they won't drop unless an actual player does the killing. All I can do is keep an eye on this. How is this affecting my power system? We're actually using butane faster than we're making it, because this thing stopped working. Or I turned it off. Okay, we're making power still fast enough to keep everything going. So I'm going to end the episode here. If someone can tell me how to stop them teleporting out, that would be useful. But there's a chance I might get an Enderman head anyway. We shall see. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all the heads from the system. And that way I'll be able to see, do you get mob heads with this thing set to generic damage? So I will see you next time, when hopefully I'll have an Enderman head. I don't suppose there's a way to craft an Enderman head, is there? Head. Nope. So I'll see you next time. If you've got any advice, please. Why do I have 64 Enderman head in my hand? They weren't really there, were they? Hello, I have no idea where you came from. Actually, you probably came from outside because there's a hole in the roof. So, advice for how to stop Endermen teleporting out. I could spawn them elsewhere and funnel them into a small space with some diamond spikes. Because I'm pretty certain diamond spikes will give rare drops and they won't teleport away from there. Or I might just be lucky enough to get heads even with it set to this method. 0, 0, 0 currently. I'll leave it run for a while. So I'll see you next time. Bye bye.